everyone, welcome back to Yoki's Kitchen. How are y'all doing today? I am great, thank you so much for asking. So today we are going to make some shrimp and grits. No specific type or style shrimp and grits. This is my version of shrimp and grits, and I tell you guys all the time, this is just a blueprint as to what it is that I use to help you use so that you can create your own dish. Now, what we are going to use, or what it is that I'm using today, is some white shrimp. Now, these white shrimp have been peeled, deveined, and washed. I will give you guys a little pass when it comes to seafood as far as keeping it very cool, much cooler than your meat, because it's just a little bit more iffy. All of them needs to be treated, carefully, but fish and stuff, it's just a little tricky. All right, we also have some thick sliced bacon. We have 2 slices of thick sliced bacon. I have them cut up into cubes so that we can, fry that down and get our base started for our vegetables. Now, our vegetables consist of a orange. This one didn't know if it wanted to be orange or yellow. We have an orange or yellow pepper. We have a red pepper, green pepper, onion. We also have some celery, as well as 1 whole jalapeno cut very small cubes. Now, my vegetables are cut a little bit different. I have them cut into strips because I want to actually be able to see my vegetables when I am actually cooking this meal. That's what I enjoy when I am cooking shrimp and grits. Now, you're also going to need some olive oil. Some Tony Saturates is what I'm using, but you're going to need a Creole seasoning of your choice. I'm also using some Danos. I have some onion powder, garlic powder. I have some smoked paprika. You can use whatever it is that you have, and some sage. I also have some thyme here, and that is what we're going to season our shrimp with. Now, you also see some pork lard on here. I've been noticing when I've been frying bacon down, I usually, when I'm making breakfast or something, I keep the fat off of the bacon after it's fried. But within the last few times that I've been making bacon, it's really not rendering the amount of grease that I'm used to seeing. So I'm finding that to be a little bit strange. So I'm gonna help boost that up a little bit with some of this pork fat here. This is manteca criolla de puerco, reduced cured pork fat. So that's what I have here. For your roux, you're gonna need some flour. So I have some flour. I have all-purpose flour. Now for your grits, you can use white grits, yellow grits, polenta, whatever it is, it's the same thing. It's your choice. Today we are using some polenta, which is the same thing as yellow grits. White grits is made from the white corn. Yellow grits is made from the yellow corn. Polenta is in the same family as that. It's just reads different. So yellow grits is actually called polenta. You're also gonna need some heavy cream, and I am going to make a cheesy grits. So I have some fresh shredded cheddar cheese here. Now you can choose whatever type of cheese that you like. For this one in particular, I'm using cheddar, so that is why that is here. So with that being said, I have my pots on the stove getting ready to warm up. So I'm gonna walk you through the process and seasoning the shrimp. To start, in no particular order, we are going to season the shrimp with some onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, some sage, we're also going to use some Danos Original, as well as some Tony's Saturates. Now season your food. If you can't see it, it ain't seasoned. All right, let's get this glove on. No, if you ain't sneezing, it ain't season. And I feel like that's what I have to do. Woo! All right, so let's get these shrimp nicely seasoned. Okay, like so. So we're just gonna let them chill out just for a little bit while we tend to our bacon so we can get started. Because we're gonna fry the shrimp in that same bacon grease. All right, to our cast iron skillet, we are going to add a little bit of this manteca de puerco. Un poquitico, no mucho, just a little bit. Just to get that bacon going. Like so. Okay. Get this melted. Now, I did say olive oil a moment ago, but after I thought about it, I was like, do you want to use olive oil and the bacon grease? So I said no. So we're gonna X out the olive oil and we're gonna use butter. That way we can have us a nice balance there. Okay, I should have just used one. Okay, that's fine. That was nice and cold, so it's taking a little longer to melt. Let's add our bacon. And we are just going to fry this bacon down. We are going to keep it. I'm also going to use this in my recipe. So we're not going to throw this away. Well, obviously, who throws bacon away? But you want to get it nice and crispy though. Okay, so while we're waiting on this, I am going to start boiling. No, let's wait, because that's not going to take long. That only takes a few minutes. Okay. Let's let this bacon cook. And I will show you how that's going to look in a second. Bacon should be looking like so. Nicely browned. And you're going to remove this bacon and you're just going to set it aside for the moment. Should have used something different, but oh, I should have used a spoon. Let me use this tongs. Maybe that'll be better. Yes, much better. Okay, so you're going to remove your bacon. Now to the same grease, you are going to add or fry up your shrimp. Now, when you're frying shrimp, you do not want them to turn into O's. We're just frying C's here. You don't want to overcook your shrimp. And remember, we are adding this back to heat, so you definitely don't want an overcooking situation with your shrimp. Briefly cook them. I mean, when they start to turn pink, when they start to turn pink, you'll pretty much know your shrimp are done. Just make sure everybody has a spot. Okay, now from here, it's going to be super easy, super quick. You've pretty much done the hardest part of this whole meal. It's actually frying the bacon. Try not to get popped. All right, so give your shrimp a nice flip. Let them cook on the other side. Now remember, like I said, we're going to put this back into some heat, so you really don't want to overcook your shrimp as soon as they get into the frying pan or your first go round. Remove your shrimp. That was minutes in the frying pan on both sides. And this is your shrimp. Now, to this same frying pan, you are going to add some butter. Remember, we're switching it up. We're not using the olive oil. We're actually going to use some butter. We have some salted Land O'Lakes butter. And we are going to drop, this is what? 2 tablespoons of butter into that frying pan. And let this butter pretty much kind of loosen up everything down here. Because those are our flavors and we need that. Just kind of move that around a little bit. Once you add your vegetables will pretty much finish getting that up. So don't worry. All right, now, your vegetables. Green pepper, red pepper, jalapenos. We have some yellow pepper, some celery, and an onion. Now, this is probably half or less than, probably a quarter green, quarter red, quarter yellow, a whole jalapeno, a whole small onion, and 2 stalks of celery. So we are going to add that into that yummy goodness in that pan. And we are going to give it a nice little spin and pretty much just loosen up all of that flavor that's on the bottom of this skillet. Okay, I am going to need this other 2 tablespoons of butter, so we're just going to throw that in there. Because I lost a lot of that grease. Okay, so stir up your vegetables. Get everything cooked down really nicely before our next step. Now, I forgot to mention garlic. So we definitely need to put some garlic in there, and it also looks like I am going to need my olive oil. So I am going to get my olive oil. I'm going to add just a little bit of that. So that can be, let me see, nicely fried down, so that when we add our flour, we have, you know, enough oil in there for our gravy. All right, so now at this point, I am going to season my vegetables with some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper to taste. Your liking. Okay. And you should be looking something like this. Now, I am also going to add my thyme. I'm going to add my thyme to it at this point because I don't like to cook herbs while I'm frying down anything. And my garlic paste, chunky garlic paste. My last video, somebody asked me who was the, what brand was this? This is Gourmet Garden. Yes, it's so convenient. Alright, now let's give this a stir, let everything cook down. And we will be ready for our next step in just a moment. Alright, so our vegetables are looking really good. I'm going to add back in my bacon. Get that stirred up. And I am going to slowly add in my flour. Now you're going to judge your flour. I'm sorry I can't give you an exact, but you're just going to judge it. This right here is actually a 1/4 cup. I'm not going to use a 1/4 cup. I am just going to judge it based on how much vegetables I have in my frying pan. So now, how do you know? How can you tell? You see how it's changing? It's starting to thicken up, and you can actually see the flour cooking down on the bottom of the pan. You see that? So just keep moving it, keep moving it, keep moving it. I am going to dust just a little bit more, and that will be enough. And if you notice, the flour is drying up that oil very nicely. That is what you want it to do. Dry it up as much as possible. Now I'm throwing in another curveball. I don't know why. This is actually something new for me too. I usually use water to kind of deglaze and make that gravy. But we are going to use chicken stock instead of water. So at this point here, I am going to get some regular chicken stock and just cover the bottom. Judge it. You'll be able to tell if you need any more based on how thick that gravy is getting. Okay, I'm going to need some more, so I'm going to go in with just a little bit more. We don't have no rules in this chicken. in this kitchen, you play by your own rules. You do what you want to do. Okay. So, as you can see, as we continue to add the chicken stock, it continues to thicken up on me. So, that means I need a little bit more. So, we're just going to keep going until we find that nice consistency, that smooth, silky gravy consistency. Now, if you want to change the color on it, you're more than welcome to use a chicken bouquet, or not kitchen. What is wrong with me and chicken? Kitchen bouquet to darken it up a little bit, but we're not. We're going to keep it this nice, beautiful gravy color. And we are going to let this cook down just a little bit while we make our grits. To this pot we have 2 cups of heavy cream, 2 cups of water, salt and pepper, and 2 tablespoons of butter. Now you're probably saying, wait a minute, yo, go back to the gravy. Why didn't you put the shrimp in the gravy? I did not put the shrimp in the gravy because I knew that the grits were going to take at least 8 to 10 minutes, and I did not want to overcook my shrimp while we were waiting. So now that we have our milk and water mixture up to a boil, I'm going to reduce that heat a little bit so it doesn't boil over. I am going to add 1 cup of the yellow grits. Now, read the directions on grits. If you don't know how to make grits, please read the directions, because it's very easy to mess up. So I am going to add my cup of grits. Now I am going to stir this, and I am going to determine if that is enough, just by the feel of it. Okay, and it feels like 1 cup is enough for that 4 cups of liquid. Now this is my first time using this red mill yellow grits, so this is why I'm saying please be careful. Make sure you read your directions so that you don't mess this up. Now I am going to turn this heat down. Well, let it come up to a boil one more time, and then I will reduce the heat, cover it, and periodically stir it so that it does not stick to the bottom and burn. Now, we've got this taken care of. We'll stir it and make sure there's no lumps in it. We're not going to add our cheese until it's almost ready, or it's almost done. So just give it a stir. Make sure that the grits is broken down nicely, so you don't have no lumps in it. You have some nice smooth dinner grits. Now my grandmother, I didn't know it was a difference between dinner grits and breakfast grits. My grandma told me, yes, there is a difference between the two. Now breakfast grits is a more runnier, liquidy type grits, and a dinner grits is a thick grits. Now I need to probably show y'all how to make some peas and grits. Instead of peas and rice, peas and grits. That was something that she made that I enjoyed a lot. All right, it's boiling, as you can see. I am going to turn it down low. Low, low, low. And we are going to let it finish doing what it's doing. Cover it up so that it can steam up. See, it's starting to pop all over the place. Let's go back to our grits. Now that we have this under control, our stove is down low. We are going to come back to our gravy. Now our gravy is also down very low as well. At this point you should have tasted. Taste it, make sure you don't need anything else. No salt, no more pepper. If you wanted to add a little bit more Danos, which is what I did, I added just a little bit more Danos to it because it was just missing those herbs in my opinion. So I am going to add my shrimp back to my pot, to my pan, skillet. And I am going to give this a stir. Still on low heat. because we still have to wait on those grits, and I do not want to overcook my shrimp. Seafood is something that cooks very quickly, and you can mess it up if you do overcook that. All right, so our shrimps are done. For our shrimp and grits, we are gonna let this go and be happy while we wait. And I am going to go back to this pot of grits and see what's going on, because as I said, you need to make sure that you're stirring, because it will get thick on you very quickly. You see that? Very quickly. So keep stirring. Now, the milk is, or heavy cream is optional. You don't have to. I wanted a creamy, cheesy grits. So this is why I added that heavy cream. As you can see, I have some water here. This polenta slash grits looks like it wants to give me a hard time. So I am going to gradually add water to it. Not too much, gradually, just so that you can determine how thick or thin you want it. If it gets too thick, it's not going to cook properly. So you need to maintain a type of silky consistency so that it can cook through. And this is hot. So we're going to keep watching it. Remember, I tell you all the time, this is Yoki's kitchen, not the perfect kitchen. So I'm going to show you how to get past things like this. All right, so you're just going to keep stirring up. Keep stirring. And I'm going to add just a little bit more water, just to cover the top. And I am going to let it steam. I'm just going to leave it alone, and I'm going to let it steam. As you can see, I did end up using the full cup of water, and I had to switch to a whisk because I just was not incorporating everything like I wanted it to. I kept finding I had a lot of milk and excess liquid around the actual grits, and it was not working out. So, and when I switched it up to the whisk, it actually looks a lot better. Nice, smooth, creamy. Now, at this point, we are going to add our 1 cup of cheddar cheese. And get that nicely incorporated as such. I'm almost ready to eat, y'all. Give that cheese a second to melt. Our shrimp is looking very nice over here. I can turn that off. I'm ready to eat. I know y'all ready. So let's give this a couple more spins, and we'll be ready to plate. Now let's put this plate together, because I am ready to eat. Look at that. How beautifully cheesy does that look? Ooh. Let's get this plate going. Put you some grits in the center. Grits, polenta, whatever it is you want to call it. The center of your plate. like so. And you are going to get your shrimps in gravy. And just lay that on top like that. How good does that look? I'm gonna let you know in 1 second. Let me get a fork and I will let you know just how good it tastes. Not because I made it, because it is. The moment of truth. Let's find out. Let's try these grits first. Oh, we have the official cheese pull on the grits with that gravy. That is so smooth. Oh my goodness. Now, that is the only yellow grits I will be using because that is amazing. Let's taste the shrimp. Perfectly cooked shrimp. Want a bite? Wow. Yo, gang, listen. I know I tell y'all try them all, but this is amazing. I told you this was my first time actually trying this type of grits. This actual recipe on here, I usually do use the heavy cream or the milk with the water, half and half. But the actual grits, that is good. Very, very good. Listen, if you have not yet checked out www.yokegang.com, make sure that you do. Pick up a t-shirt or a patch, support the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you are interested in becoming a Yoke Gang All-In member, make sure you hit the join button. I am going to drop that link in there for you. This is good. I gotta go. I'm hungry. I know Dee's hungry too, but y'all know I love y'all for life.